Howdy and welcome back to the channel. I'm Country Boy and I put the sass in sarsaparilla and I'm about to go ape shit all over this figure because this thing looks really cool. I'm talking about General Thane from the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. So welcome back to Whatcha Figure. This is General Thane from Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I really don't know much about this figure or this line even. I don't have any Spero toys. I have no idea what the quality of these toys are. All I know is I love me some gorillas, and this thing is a hefty, chonky figure. I can't wait to get into this thing. I know there's a whole bunch of other figures that are out for this line. Like there's these other ape type guys. There's some guy with a mohawk. I think there's some cats, like some leopards and tigers and lions and whatnot. But the only one I plan to get is this guy right here because, man, I love me some apes. I've even got one on my arm, if you didn't know. So I guess there's nothing left to do but to get to looking at the packaging. Okay, so here we have the packaging for Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Primal Series General Thane. And like I said, I don't really know these figures at all. I haven't collected any of these before. And yeah, you can see it's a big gorilla with some armor on him. He looks pretty cool so far. The packaging kind of leaves a little bit to be desired. It's just pretty plain, pretty white, at least on the front anyways. Some warning choking hazard, so you gotta be over 14 years of age. So we'll go to the side here, and you can see that's a pretty cool image of General Thane. He's it looks like a comic book character right there. So which I think this might be from a comic book, which maybe I'll read in the future. Who knows? It says Spero right there. That's the toy company that makes them. And then there's a bit of a write-up for General Thane. It says, General Thane, this mighty warrior leads the Chunari forces with his wife Mala, a kind and nurturing leader who cares deeply for his people and is a formidable warrior and tactician. There you go. So he's not just a brute, you know. It looks like he's actually got a heart of gold or something going on there. And it says, thank you for your purchase. Warning, choking hazards and stuff on the side there. And then the same image is the other side right there. And then if you want to look at the top, more Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, Primal Series. And on the bottom, we got, looks like some copyright stuff going on there. Not too much interesting going on. So I guess there's nothing left to do but to get into the packaging. All right, and here we have General Thane from AWOC, or Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, as they say. Looking really cool. This guy, I gotta tell you, this guy is hefty and beefy and does not feel cheap at all. He might look like a kid's toy, just kind of because he got more of a cartoony feel to or look to him. But no, he feels and is heavy as hell, surprisingly. But before we get to looking at the actual figure, let's look at some of his accessories, which include these two-fisted hands right here, looking, you know, like a good old gorilla mitts should. Like a gorilla does, you know, they pound their chests, they beat the heck out of anybody that gets in their way. Got the blacks going on with the fur, got the grays going on with the skin, and then you got some nails here as well too. So, you know, decent detail. And it is definitely more cartoony looking. It's not going to be super hyper realistic or anything like that. That's not the look they're going for, and I appreciate that. And then he has these more open hands than the ones he has on him right now. So I guess if he wants to hold something a little bit bigger than the weapon that he has here, he can do that as well too. So same level of detail as the fists, and you can see the nails again too, and the colors and everything's very similar. Looking really cool. I'm liking the way that this looks. Not sure which hands I'm going to have on him when I use this guy. And then I will look at his weapon as well too, which is this big old hammer, I guess you could call this. It's a kind of stylized looking hammer. Got a bit of a bend to it when it came out, but you know, it kind of bends into place when I need to. It's more softer, malleable plastic. It's able to bend however I want it. But yeah, it looks like a big stone or like maybe big chunks of metal made this thing, and then blue wrapping and some wood there, I guess you could call that, or maybe some leather, I'm not too sure. But yeah, it looks really cool. It's got decent detail. It's got some pitting and stuff. Looks really awesome. Almost looks like an engine or something that would come from sort of futuristic, I don't know, piece of spacecraft or something like that. Either that or like an old school gladiator type weapon. It's kind of what it looks like too, with this ball mace at the end here too. Looks really cool. This is a really cool looking weapon. Look at the way this guy looks. And then the extra head he also comes with. It's got a helmet. That's a pretty cool blue metallic-y type helmet. Definitely more of a gladiator type look. I like the way that looks, and he's got like a snarl look to him too. And it is kind of a softer plastic, so you can kind of move it around if you need to look at the more details inside too. But yeah, I like that snarly look he's got going on there, and those eyes he's got. He's kind of looking like he's pissed off, and he's just gonna, do some business, take care of business here. A little bit of extra detailing on the side, pretty cool. See the ear coming out there, ear there, and then you can see, if you look at that, that's kind of where you slot in his head or his neck peg right there. So, it's pretty standard for most figures nowadays to have the extra heads. And then let's look at the figure itself. Looking really cool, just beefy as hell. I cannot understate how heavy this guy really is. You do not understand. He looks like he might be hollow. He is not. This is a solid chunk of plastic right here. And he's, like I said, he's got more of a cartoony look to him, but that doesn't take away from it at all. Like, this guy looks really cool. He still has a good level of detail. And that sound you heard was the ab crunch. It does have ratcheted joints, which I appreciate. So he's not going to fall over really easily inside your display case, which is really awesome. Looking at the fur, looks really cool. Got the gray going on, and it's kind of a stoic look here, more of a serious stoic look, I could say. Looking awesome. And then he's got the big shoulder pauldron armor going on, and this whole bicep coverage, and then the gauntlet here, gauntlet on this side too, different color. And then he's got also the waist armor going on. I love that. This is loose too. Like, if you want to take this off, you could totally take this off if you wanted to. Pop the head off and pop that off, because it is its own piece. It's not like it's molded as part of him or anything like that. And yeah, like even like the coloring, like you got the leather color, and then you got the belt loop, the belt colors going on with the gold. Just looks really good. Like, everything looks like it's been in battle. Like, it's got some dents and dings into it. A little bit of reds and blues, and it goes together so well. And then a little bit of dark blue there too. And on the back there, same level of detail. It looks really cool. I like the way this guy looks. He's an awesome looking gorilla. Cannot love this guy more. And then let's look at some of the articulation too, which I was surprised how much articulation he had. So his head goes up about that far, goes down about that far, and then he can kind of twist a little bit left and right. Not too much, but he can spin all the way around if you want to. And then the arms go up. Like I said, they ratchet so they can lock into place if you need to. So that's about 90 degrees there. I got a bicep swivel, but it only goes so far because he is such a beefy, chunky guy. And then the arms go in about 90 degrees. I don't think it's a double jointed joint there. Maybe it is. It's actually, it's better than I thought it was, because it goes back a little further than I thought it would. So it goes forward and back quite well. It's a pretty decent joint there. And then the wrist, like, this is also loose too. Like, this, if I took the hand off and I want to take this off, I could totally do that as well too. It's its own piece. And then, so yeah, like I said, the wrist could swivel all the way around. It's a little bit hindered by the armor that is here. And a little bit of paint came off there too. It looks like a little bit of blue. I don't know if you can see that, but a little bit of paint rubbing. And then, yeah, the wrist does rotate, and then it goes up and down, or does it go side to side? I can't quite tell, because I can't see where the joint is here. But yeah, that's how that goes. Then he does have an ab crunch, which goes back that far. You can hear the snapping of the articulation inside there. That's a good thing. That's a good sound. It's a good snap. That means it's ratcheted and it's going to go and stay in place. So this arm's obviously going to have a little bit less articulation because of the shoulder pauldron being in the way. But if you want to take that off, you could totally do that, and you'd have the same articulation there. And then you have this waist swivel going on there. And then you got the legs can go out. Let's see, let's get these arms up maybe out of the way here. The legs go up about that far. There's a little bit of hindrance because of the armor that he's got on his hips, but it's still pretty good. He does a decent splits for a big ape guy. And then the knees, let's see, they're a little bit stiff, but they actually go up better than I thought they would. Actually, not too bad, pretty darn good. Oh man, this guy is just chunky. It is so awesome. And then the feet can only go so far because of the armor that he has here. So it goes back that far and then up that far. And yeah, this guy is just, man, he is heavy, and just, you could use this guy as a weapon. If you wanted to take someone out, say someone was robbing your house and you're like, what's the biggest thing I could think of to hurt a guy? And this guy was in your vicinity, use him. He will knock a guy out. Hey, give me your money. Ah! no problem. He's a little bit harder to stand right now because he does have the smaller feet, but he can do it on screen. There you go. So that is him just on his own. I will kind of play with him a little bit. You'll see what he looks like, and I'll compare him to some other figures that I might have that aren't in this line, but you know, maybe they're bigger, beefier figures that I have. So stay tuned for that. So as a comparison, I thought I'd throw in some other big, beefy, chonky boys, because you know, this guy, he's a big one. He's definitely a hefty boy. So I'll throw in one of the biggest guys there is, Bowser from the Mario movie that came out this year. He's definitely a big chunky boy, maybe a bit wider and probably a little bit heavier as well too, but not quite as tall. He's definitely a big guy. He's definitely a big guy. Another big figure I'll throw in here is the Rhino from the Marvel Legends line from the Spider-Man Retro series. He's about the same size, actually. They're about, the Rhino's a bit lighter and not quite as wide, I don't think, but about the same height and, you know, pretty close to the same beefiness, I'd say. And then another Marvel Legends figure I'd throw in there. You can't have big guys without having one of the biggest guys there is, Marvel Legends Hulk. So this is the 80th Marvel anniversary one. He's a little bit taller than he is. He's taller than the Rhino was as well too. Rightfully so, because Hulk is a big chunky boy. And yeah, these guys look really cool together. Actually, I like the way they look. It just kind of reminds me of Planet Hulk when Hulk was the gladiator there. So that's kind of reminding me of with his armor and everything. And then the last one I'll compare is another gorilla I have, which is King Kong from NECA. So definitely a much smaller version than everything else I've put up here, but a gorilla nonetheless. A little more detailed, you could say, more realistic type of gorilla compared to a more cartoony looking gorilla. Both have their merits. Both are really cool. I love both gorillas. I love basically all gorillas. I'm a sucker for a gorilla. You're going to put a gorilla in front of me, you're going to have my attention. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you liked it. I am CountryBoyNiner with an underscore in there somewheres. Go ahead and check me out on other platforms. Give me a like and subscribe if you want. I'm also on another channel with my friends called Wasted Opinions. We have a lot of fun. Those guys are awesome. Check them out. That's going to do it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to have to beat my chest, and we'll see you later.